Check it out, Yasharal. My cosmic fruits are growing. They're huge. This is how big they used to be. These were like the average. That's how they used to be back then. Look how huge they are now. They're almost like an apple now. They went from like strawberries to like an apple size. And that's this entire stalk. These are the big ones. And it's growing, that big stalk is growing right above. You know, it's like Yahuwah letting me know your fruit's getting bigger, more luscious. That's the old stalk from, months ago when I was shooting. And remember, I was talking about that. If you've been keeping up with me, I did say that when I was doing the fires, and I left everything behind for a little bit, and I was making fire pit stuff, and I wanted to make rice and beans, and then that miraculous container showed up so I can make my beans. You remember that? And then there was fruit that grew from that tree where I found that container at that hotel. Also, these fruits, and one of them had a really big one, and I said, I wonder if that's who will tell me my fruit's getting bigger and better, and I wonder if he's telling me. I even mentioned, I bet you I'd be interesting to see if the fruits at my other tree are getting bigger too, because they're all connected. And yep, here's the proof. And they're all these are from the big one. Oh, that one's squishy. That one's already fermented like wine. Let's see. Yeah, these are all big. Praise Yah. Thank you, Abiyah. Thank you, Makyahusha. Yeah, big difference. They used to be like these little ones. That's from like the older stuff. They got more purple. But these are big. Praise Yah. Yeah, here you go. These were like how they used to be. Look at the difference. Big difference. Big difference, right? Man. That's me right here. Praise Yah. Hallelujah, Yahusha. Look at all that seed. All that eternal righteous seed. That's me right here. Praise Yah. Shalom, shalom. That's all I wanted to share. Cosmic fruit. Somewhere you got a fruit-bearing tree, a reflection of you hidden in your area where you're pouring out so much ruach, it has to spill out and overflow into reality. When it overflows out of you, you got the ruach in you. But when you got so much ruach, you're overflowing, then it's like it's spilling on the trees and they start bearing fruit. It's spilling in the air and it starts to be more fresher. It's spilling on the sun and the sky and it starts to be more ambient. Spilling on the people and they start to be more lovely. On the women, on the men, they start to be more chill and calmly and cool. Spills on the children, spills on the community. It's a better version of everybody. That's the way you can look at it. But you gotta be full of that ruach. If you're gonna be positive, it's because you're praising Yah, but don't get too positive with the world and their world antics, because then you shift out of the reality. Now you're feeding their beast. You know what I'm saying? So positive isn't necessarily such a great thing, because the world wants you to be positive, so you gotta question that. We're mourning and waiting for Sion, but every now and then what goes down comes up, so that mourning turns into gladness. You start to praise Yah, then you start seeing bigger fruits everywhere, better things for a little bit, so it's fully manifested. Because I used to stay in a positive flow like that, and then that's when sometimes people want to come around like, oh hey, but then if they got unclean spirit, you're giving them all that positive energy, so they power up more of that unclean nature. You start seeing more of that. All of a sudden you start adding building up their reign, building up that world construct against Yah. So you gotta like know when to let it out. You gotta. That's why Yahusha goes to a quiet place to meditate. He's probably praising Yah too, like that. Lifting up his hands and speak the word, speak truth, and otherwise be chill. And yeah, you always wanna like I said, don't give the world too much attention, but you staying in Yahusha is naturally gonna give them the vibe. You feel me? You stay meditating on Yah, being uplifted about the Shamayim to come, the Shamayim reign, the reign of the Shamayim of Yahusha, Ruach HaKodesh, the reign of Yahuwah Elohim. You be connected and being mindful and being expectant about it, and that being the samaka on your love, the expectation is gonna be naturally what like connects to everybody. That's what's gonna be what like kind of spills, and people are gonna feel, and they're gonna be like, yeah, something's gonna be different. And it takes a little while for them to realize what it is, but that's okay, because I used to try to do it in my own strength, tell them what it is, like why. But then sometimes in doing that, you have to like produce like extra energy, so it makes you a little more, you start drawing up like more like intentional, like more aggression, more intentional, like more passionate energy, and all that can be a little fleshly, and so it kind of goes against, it doesn't go against, but you got to do only a little bit and then get back in your zone with Yah. But at least you plant the seed and let them know a little bit, but stay there. Like it works better that way. But to kind of kill the mystery, you let them know, yeah, we pour that out when we stay meditating on Yah. If you can preach to them while you're meditating on Yah, like tell them while you're still mindful of Yah, like you have that connection, then that's where you want to be, you know what I'm saying? But even then, don't do it too long. Like, for example, I'm on here, and my focus was somewhat on y'all on the camera, but I have to redraw my focus back on Yah, like I'm alone, like I'm talking to myself, talking to Yah and Shamayim, holding the phone, and that puts me back in the zone. So that's what I mean by being in the zone. Like, when your mind's connected to Yah, you don't even have to do much. You simply stay connected, and they feel it already. For your sake, you wants to give you a little bit of a tender kindness, Rakom, that protective realm kind of coach and everybody, and they follow suit, they feel it. They get familiar, they start to learn to adapt to it. They start like, over time, trial and error starts to become familiar to them, and they recognize, oh, this is that Yahuwah vibe. They see you. I wonder often at times if that's what happens. Like, it probably does. I simply try to be humble about it. I wonder if like the thought has came to my mind, that whenever it gets ambient and nice and like overcast, like a nice ambience, or it's like no sun, no cloud, but it's ambient. It's not like that hot yellow sun. It's like that ambient. I wonder like if every time that happens, like the same people see me, like they're like, oh look, it's nice and like ambient, like the fluorescent light's not hot and sunny, or it's kind of gloomy, a little cloudy. It's nice and windy. It's fresh. Like there's something like a filter in the air. Then every time it's like that, all of a sudden I go right by, and they're like, what? How is it? It's like every time he's around, like that's what's happening. But when he's not around, it's like hot and sweaty and humid, and so I know that's what's happening. Like the Ruach kind of gives me a little understanding. So that's already kind of like coding the Yashayahu Isaiah 32, where it talks about a sovereign shall reign in righteousness, shalom, and that's talking about Yahusha, and rulers rule with them in right ruling. That's us, and each one of those sovereigns that are rulers, forgive me, Yah, each one of those rulers that rule with Yahusha shall be as a hiding place from the heat, as a shelter from storm and rain. We're going to be a fluorescent ambience. We're going to be a Ruach with iron dome from bad weather, and only two vibes with eternal Hava Shalom and Samacha. And that's what a part of that coding is, what's going to draw in the 7 women cling to one man. 7 women cling to us, or the women are going to start clinging to us, because they're going to note the vibe, they're going to note the ambience, protection, but it's going to start getting darker, scarier out there. Something's going to shift where it's going to be notable. Maybe we are going to shine a little like Masha. maybe like our skin's gonna start literally glowing, not only on the phone. You already see it glowing on the phone. Like I check my videos, I'm like, man, that's awesome, y'all. How you bear witness to me. Go ahead. All right, thank you. I'm like, that's awesome, yeah. How you bear witness to me. You know, you cause these cosmic glitches from your Malachim to the Shamayim to make me shine and glow at the right time, so to let them know that you're with me. And so people, that's already a miracle, or you can say in that dynamic it's happening, but people still want it to happen like, well, we want to see it really. It won't be much of a difference because you're already seeing it on the phone. It'll be like the same thing. So in a sense, that's like a witness against the world, because it's like that part of the doubting nature of the world that it's never tuve enough, you know? It's like that Pharaoh, you know, where he's like, well, let me see what what Yahuwah does. I'm going to do, like, we're going to do this, you know, or I want to see what your Elohim does next. And Yahuwah does another plague. And he's like, all right, I get it. Like, I believe, like, I will let y'all go. But then it's like, nah, tripping. That was simply coincidence, or that wasn't tuve enough, you know? It'll never be tuve enough. So then he tries to restrain the Yasharim from leaving. And so Yahuwah does another plague and another plague, because it's never tuve enough for the world. They can't understand that it's not about it being tuve enough to our liking. It's guarding the witnesses. And upon 2 or 3, you're dealing with the truth. That's a matter established. So, you know, even on the phone, my one witness is the glitches. My second witness is the elements be in the background that honk at simply the right time. Beep, beep, you know, to bear witness of what I'm saying. And can I get a witness? Where you at when I need y'all? Kidding. But Barak Yahuwah, praise Yah. That's how it works. And so it might be like Yahuwah always allows a little gray area. Oh, see, because everybody's always looking for a doubting reason. There was no honk. He must not be true. Then all of a sudden, he's gonna up it up a little bit, show y'all. And then, okay, I think it is. I think he is true. But why is he gotta be like that? Why can't it be normal? Normal? No, I'm free. You mean you want? Why can't I fit into your box, your prison, of what your projected reality already has defined as somebody that's a man of Yah esteemed? You know what I'm saying? Because in y'all's world, unless I'm talking like Creflo somebody, but unless I'm talking like an Osteen, like a TDJ, like a ding, and he got some keys, some keyboard, piano going back, like a ooh, can I? If I did all that, all of a sudden your tummy starts to tickle. You must be real, because I start stomping a little bit. You know, start making some sound effects all of a sudden, because that's that familiar spirit jazz. That's that stuff your spirit's familiar with, that what you consider to be anointed and appointed. When you know, like, first I have to have a stage, then I have to walk like I've been getting the word. Oh, now you're like, I recognize that. Oh, like to y'all, that's like Michael Jackson doing a moonwalk, seeing somebody walk like that, because it to you identifies you to you, defines anointed is style. That's all fake facades. It's a performing clown circus monkey. You know what I'm saying? And you're falling for it. You get all goosebumps because he's wearing a suit and he's going. Listen now. Anybody can do that. See, I did it, and I like, oh, turn it up. He must be anointed appointed, because look what he did. Listen now. See the word. Those are all smokes and mirrors. That's an incantation, a manifestation of, take out your pocketbooks. You're about to pay me. You're gonna pay me right now. That's what those tricks are. This ain't something I studied. I'm merely, winging it by the ruach. I'm discerning. I'm inspired. I'm giving you the truth. It's like instinct, right? But I understand that's what gets everybody, because y'all want to see that. Y'all want to see a professional performing circus clown monkey. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to see a Rudy Poo jabroni perform for you like a dancing clown monkey. That's what y'all want to see. And I'm not that. So y'all keep y'all's... And I ain't worried about y'all's pocketbooks, but I'm saying that's what they do to make you feel they're anointed, appointed, because they know how to tickle the flesh to get your pocketbooks. I start walking like that, I bet y'all thought a little different, because that's how programmed y'all are. Why doesn't he do that? Because I know that's a programming. I'm not about to play that shenanigan to fool you. That's why I don't try to talk to girls the way dudes talk to girls, because that's what I call spitting game. It's a game. I don't play games. I simply speak the truth. How Latinos came up with nothing to lose. Because we're Yashralim. Crossing the river, jumping the gate. Once we came over, they knew it was too late.
You're right, buddy. Thank you.
Praise, yeah. That's that partnership. Praise, yeah. Partners in Mashiach, Yahusha. Forgive me, y'all, for the worldly references, but he's allowed me a little freedom. I don't do those things unless he tells me, like he's already expressed, I want you to get a little loose, loosen up a little bit, hit some worldly references, be the OU, but it be in me, but be all you can be in me. So I'm gonna be all that. And so you see these, got a word, and all that is smoke and mirrors. It's a facade. It's a manifestation of a mechanism. It's a mechanism program, a mechanized program to speak to your subconscious, to tell you that they deserve your attention and your pocketbooks deserve. Now, I don't know. You see that, and you're being entertained by a clown. You're not even listening to what he said. Let me engineer it. Chicken fried steak, beef, bubblegum wrapper, a dog on a cat. Now, birds fly. See, it's random, but the gestures alone are like getting you all, because you're stimulated by mechanisms, by programming. But I'm the real deal. I say real raw, the real sliced bread from Yahuwah Yahusha. He's the real lacham. He's the real sliced bread and wine, the blood of the grapes, the blood of the renewed covenant. We're Echad one. But you go for style. Oh, let me give you now. I'm gonna give you. Oh, that's a little Baptist right there. I'm gonna give you. So. That's that Baptist stuff. I'm gonna give you. What we call it, non-denomination. Hello, everybody. How are you? Listen here. Raul right here with you. Listen, we have some great stuff, guys, and we want to make sure that you get it all in, because it's going to be awesome. Right here today at this congregation, we're going to be lifting up, and we're going to be praising, and it's going to be exciting, and we know that you're going to enjoy it. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's that non-denomination tactic. That's that get excited. Look how he's moving. He makes it fun. I feel like jelly. Yay. Praise Yah. What is the point of all that, you ask? First, you got to recognize Rome antics, deceptions from movements, body gestures, And stop looking at style, but listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. See if there's truth to it. You know it in your life is truth. That's why I'm speaking it. So your ruach overflows and it has to manifest and it starts to code into reality. Trees that normally didn't grow fruit start bearing fruit. Look for it. If you're really praising Yah, you're really all about Yah, you go into that secret place and you search them out. Search them in the woods. Go for a walk. Sing a song. You'll see it. Birds coming near you. You know? You get the wifeys, the waifus. They come like that. And that's mine. The women are lovelier. They're more majestic and it's for you. They come down the runway, but it's not for everybody. So, you didn't earn it. You didn't fight for this. You wanted bucks. You wanted bucks. That's what you wanted. You wanted all C&I bills. You wanted G.O.D. That's what you wanted. If you really wanted Yah, you'd be heavily thinking about it, and he make that form of meditation, that amunah would grow and make a way for you. Because when there's nothing else you can do, if you really trust the word, he's going to part the seas for you, make a way. But you were already satisfied. Got your little job, paying a little rent, got your little place, already done got established. Well, you can still do it from there. Even from that position, you can still make a way. You got to want it. But it's so dreadful. How do we turn back a current? We've been... Man, you're going to have to hit them brakes, slam and hit that U-turn and do the things that movies are made of. You got to do some cool superhero stuff. Some protagonist stuff. Stuff movies are made out of. Stuff. And the Ruach. Feel me? Don't be satisfied watching the movies. You gotta be that character that does it. If it serves a role, let it encourage you. Let movies be an encouragement to you that you gotta make those awesome leaps for your walk to get closer to Yahuwah Yahusha and Ruach HaKodesh, so that he can bring you into secret realms, secret places, through narrow gates, hard pressed, is the way. What is the way? The Torah is the way. The Torah, the law is hard pressed. Very few are those who find it in their best interest to do it through the empowering of the Ruach HaKodesh Yahuwah. And then the burden is light. Then the burden is let there be light. Then the burden allows you to see clearly. Praise Yah, it's on the wordplay. Simple as that. And then once he shows you these things, you shall forever be the same. How can you come to this, taste it, and then eagerly desire to go back to the slave master? Trusting in man. Curses man who trusts in man and makes flesh his arm. Baruch is the Adam who trusts in Yahuwah, whose trust is Yahuwah. He shall be like a plant planted by the rivers of Ma'im. Yadam Yahu, Jeremiah chapter 17. So, you got to figure it out. Because everybody's path is custom made. It's all a work of art. There's no right or wrong way to this. It's not going to be this. Say the word. La, 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 la. It's none of that. It's none of, hey guys. It's none of that. Pass the offering bucket. It's none of that. It's out here. It's out here and it's right here in the word. You read it, you look around. And you read it and you look around. And you keep on reading it and you keep on looking around till reading and looking around go together, make sense. So they click and come one. I don't know how else to say it. That's the foundation. You read it and you look around. It's got to reflect. You got to read it till you see it. Simple as that. If it ain't looking like it, then you ain't in it. You in the world. So you got to read it until it looks like it. You got to read it till your imagination is activated so strongly that the world around you, because you're in such strong delusion, but the type of illusion you want to be, but it's not an illusion. You're seeing the realm of Yahuwah, the Shamaim on earth. It's within, because it's your perception, but you see it all around you. Because you got to keep reading it till you see it. You got to read and look around. Keep reading, and then you look around some more. Simply read and look around till what you're looking around at reflects what you're reading. You know, you want to call it law of attraction, you want to call it manifesting, fine. But that's what you want to attract, and that's what you want to manifest. You want to manifest the eternity that the word conveys, that it speaks. You want to reflect the characters. You want to reflect that lifestyle, because narrow is the gate and hard-pressed is the way, and very few are those who find it. So it's got to be something narrow, hard, but it's the way, something very few people are finding. And I'm telling you right now, that's not mainstream, comfortable couch Christianity. It ain't that. That's a broad gate. Because December 25th is not the birth of Yahusha. Come out of that, my people. First day is not the Sabbath. Come out of that, my people. It's on the seventh day. Does that mean I have to be Jewish? No. That means you reverence simply on the seventh day, Yahusha. Yahuwah, Yahusha. You still believe in Messiah, but you go back to the Torah, the ancient path, where the right way is. Keep the dietary law, no pork and no shrimp. No. Why are you putting on that yarmulke? No one said be Jewish. Why are you doing that? You're simply custom fitting the word into your chai as it is written. No, that's a 9-branch menorah. Show me where that's written in the word. It's 7 branches. Put that 9 branch back. That's an abomination. Where'd you get that symbol from? That kukab symbol of David, they said. Star David? No. Shouldn't be calling this, because it's another pagan deity's name. The ash poles. No. That's not from David. The Hindus had that. Got to start looking into the origins. Simply the word of Yah. Matthew 5:17. I did not come to do away with the Torah, the Nabim. I did not come to do away, but to raise it standard. To the Shamaim and the earth pass away, as it passed away, no. And not one Yah, not one small letter, my Torah, my law shall by no means diminish till everything be fulfilled. When does everything be done? Heaven and earth have to pass away first. It'd be easier for heaven and earth to pass away than for one Yod, one tittle, one jot, one mark of the law to be
Next
diminished.
station, Tecolodi Road.
Whoever then breaks the least command, the least of
Tecolodi
them,
Road is next.
and teaches men so, shall be called nothing in the rain. Really is what the Hebrew idiom is. Shall be nothing in the rain. So someone say, oh, we don't have to keep Sabbath no more. They're nothing. They diminished his Torah. That's who he is. He's the Sabbath made flesh. Not that you don't have to keep the Sabbath because now you trust in him and you rest in him. No, it's you rest on the Sabbath and you rest in him. He's the Sabbath. So when you rest on the 7th day, you enter into his realm. You're in him, and he's the realm. And he is the law made flesh. So when you keep the law, you're inside of him. You're in a realm where he's at, that's held together by the law. It's a divine protective realm on earth. Boom, projection, hologram, you're hidden. In that realm, there's no pork and no shrimp. You don't eat it. That wasn't done away. Because whoever breaks the least command, well, he said he simply got done saying, I didn't come to take away anything from the law. I came to raise the standard. So he cannot mean, he would be contradicting himself. He cannot mean that he was doing away with the dietary law. That would make him a hypocrite. And he was a perfect law keeper and the law teacher. He kept the law and he taught the law. So he was simply speaking of food that you eat. What's considered food by Torah does not defile you. Pork is not food. Thus making all meats clean It's not in the original scriptures. That's why it's always italicized or parentheses, because
Technology
man added that in.
next.
That was their opinion. It's not what it said. That's not what he meant. That's why even Peter wondered. And he said, you know that the Pharisees stumbled when he said this? Stumble means almost caused him to sin. Why would that have almost caused him to transgress? Because it sounded like he was saying that nothing that goes in your mouth defiles you. That means he's doing away with that law. No. It means concerning food. Hello, I didn't come to do away with the law of the Nabim. I can't be saying that. He said, eat my flesh and my blood. He didn't literally mean that. So he always said things to make it sound like he was speaking against Torah, but that's not what he could have meant. So he wanted us to dig deeper. I'm not talking about my flesh and my blood. Literally, flesh benefits nothing. The words that I speak are ruach. That's my flesh and my blood, my words, my law. Tear this Mishkan down, the dwelling of Yah. I rebuild it in 3 days. It's bad. It's against the commands to speak against the dwelling of Yah. And yet he said it, but it's not what he meant. He was talking about his body. So that's what he was trying to do. Let's get us to dig deeper. He was trying to weed out the naysayers. You gotta eat my flesh and my blood. Oh, look what he said, cannibal. That's against Torah. Yeah, exactly. Get out of here. You who are looking for a reason to accuse me. Those of you who are standing around trying to find fault, yuck, bye. Those of you who are trying to seek what I really mean, deeper understanding, knew subconsciously, instinctively, I could have meant that because you trust me. Now come over here, you who trust me. That's what he was doing with, it's not what goes in your mouth, eat my flesh and my blood, build this mashkan, I build up in 3 days. All those things that sound like you're speaking against Torah, he was not. So you keep Torah
Next station.
and the belief in Yahusha.
Transfer here.
That's how you remain in
College
it.
to Mission Valley, Santee, or the Convention Center area.
La siguiente estación, Old Camp. Transborde aquí para la línea verde del trolley con destino a Mission Valley, Santee y el centro de convenciones.
Old Town is next.
That's how you remain in Yahusha. You keep the Torah. He's the law made flesh. He's a realm. You keep the Sabbath on the 7th day, you get close. No pork and no shrimp, closer. You start keeping the feast, you're on him. You start kadashing the words, that's where it matters. That's that least command stuff. Shamut, Exodus 23:13, and all that.